Okay, so today what we're going to do is a quick introduction of Springmatic, the Springdel mobile device or edge device management platform. We're going to quickly log in to show just a few of the features that we can do by managing devices, and we'll show some of the handy features that we have. The Springmatic platform is highly scalable. We can support thousands of devices within a single tenant, and we have the ability of seamlessly adding products to the platform. There's no need for server scale, no need for additional VMs. Everything is completely seamless based on the way the backend is structured. Here we can see we have a series of devices. This is a test account. So we can look at a lot of devices, including, for example, this Huawei MatePad. So you can get the information of the device. We can even view everything from the applications that are running on the device. If there is an application which is provisioned from the Springmatic platform, it will show up as managed over here. We can see what profiles are assigned to it. Currently, there's no profile on the application itself. We can also get some basic logs of what's happened to the device. We can see device location. We can also do location history of the device. Now, if we go back, what we can do is the way Springmatic is structured is that we have devices, we have profiles, and then we have app and file management. The profiles themselves can be set up to be essentially any kind of profile that you want. And what we'll do is we'll just edit this one by clicking the little pencil up here. Here we can rename the profile. We can look at feature controls. So what we want to allow or disallow from the device. So you can see here that we have the ability to allow or disallow Google Play. We can disable Safe Boot, which can sometimes be a backdoor for people. We can also disallow the ability to use tethering. We can even disallow the ability to use the USB or the camera of the device. And what disabling USB does is that the device can still be charged over USB, but you can no longer go in and access files or access things in the device. So in Android, typically if you connect your device to a computer or PC, you'll be able to go in and access some of the files of the device. We can completely block that. Disable Bluetooth, allow or don't from unknown sources. This is depending on what you actually want to run. We can disable camera, etc. Okay. In terms of the applications, what we do is we can push applications that are from the Springdel platform over to the device. We also have the ability to do versioning, so you can roll forward or backward depending on what version of the application you want to install. This is particularly good if you have locally created applications or you're doing your own app development and you want to deploy onto the devices. We can enable kind of this edge computing or edge case development for the device so that you can do ABC testing and so on. We also have the ability to blacklist applications. Now, in the UI, by default, the only applications present are the applications that are known to the tenant or your group. But you can also block applications by adding, for example, the package ID. So, for example, if I know the package ID of Chrome, I can just add the package ID, and then this application will then be blocked. It will no longer be allowed to be provisioned or be called up or used by the people using your device. We also have the ability in the profile to force like networks. So if we had a known network, say we'll call it network A for now, and we would know the password of it, we can assign the network or the Wi-Fi network that we want, and we can do this for multiple networks as well. So you can have multiple networks preloaded on the device, and then the device would automatically connect to whichever is the most available to it or has the highest tingle strength, based on what's there. So you can sort of pre-plan what networks you want the device to be aware of. We can also do web filtering. Now this only works with Chrome, but we can do whitelist or blacklist. So if you have certain applications or certain websites that you don't want people being able to browse to, we can do that. The other thing that you could do is if you have a custom application, you can have specific websites, and then we only call up those websites of what people can see. So you could do something like disable Chrome in the app blacklist, and then you could use custom applications to replace, say, the Chromium browser, if that's what you want to do. If you want to allow Chrome, then we can use the web filter with a whitelist or blacklist policy of what websites you want to allow or disallow users to visit. So, a kiosk mode. So we do have the ability to do a very basic kiosk mode. Or if you want to do a custom kiosk mode, we allow that with this HTML kiosk mode. So essentially what HTML kiosk mode does is you can edit an HTML website, and then that website gets provisioned as the locked down launcher on the device. So once the kiosk mode is enabled, you're not able to do anything but see what's in that kiosk mode. Okay, we can do file sync, and then with the file sync we can like push things over. So if we had a file, maybe we have this zip file, for example, we can push the zip file to whatever path that you would want on the device, and then this path would be the default path under the storage emulated structure. Okay. Geofencing. Geofencing is a way for us, we can look at, say for example, if we look at a city, we can find a location and we can pick a place, and then in this area, if a device leaves it, we can say notify us that the device has left our geofenced area. And the other thing that we can do is that if the device leaves, we send a command that it gets moved from our initial fleet, which might have allowed more functionality on the device, to maybe a lockdown fleet. So we switch the profile essentially so that the device can then get locked down if it should leave the designated area. Okay. Okay. And then we can do custom wallpaper, like if you needed to have a wallpaper pushed onto the device, something with your local branding, something with perhaps like the organization that you belong to, we can set that as the background on the launcher of the device. And then we can allow for things like forcing the user to use a stronger password. If you needed, like you need to have at least an 8-character long password. So when the device is first called up, it will prompt the user for this password. Okay. So let's just leave it with a fairly simple. Go into the Kiosk Builder. We're going to give this a password. So the password is something which you can set in the kiosk, and then whoever uses the kiosk or wants to employ the kiosk, the only way to get out of the kiosk is by knowing the password which you force on the device. So this, the administrator would know, but in theory, the end users, they wouldn't know. So they'd only be able to see whatever you present in the kiosk. We're going to save that. So what we're going to do now is we're going to create a new fleet. We're going to create a subfleet. This is going to be test fleet. Say OK. Fleet created. Now underneath my fleet, I'll have a subfleet. Right now there's no devices. What I'll do is I'm going to move one of the devices over to this new test fleet. We're going to move this Huawei MatePad. We're going to move it to test fleet. Move. Successful. Okay. Now we're going to look under test fleet. We have the mate pad, so we can view it. And this is the same as what we had before, but it's now part of a new group. So now that it's a new group, we're going to go back to our profile. And in our profile, we're going to associate it with a different fleet. So edit again. Double check the kiosk. Looks good. Double check the application. That looks good. Now we're going to associate the fleet. And put it in test fleet. Save and publish. Okay. So now that's published, we can go back to the device, and using the remote control feature, we can verify that the device is indeed. I think I clicked on the wrong device. Go back to the fleet. Let's see, more accurate. Huawei MatePad. Okay. Now we're going to see. Okay. So we do indeed have the device. We're going to sync now. You could also do this remotely by doing a forced check-in. Okay. Here the application is coming down. And we are in the kiosk mode. Okay, so this is where the kiosk is being set as we applied it. And this particular application is just a sample application, which you can use to view a website. So if you wanted to put in any website or even say an IP address, it would show whatever it can read on the network. And we can do just for example, maybe like this. Say, for example, we wanted to just create it, let it go to Google, so we can see the Google settings. Now, if we try to get out of here, like we try to press home, it goes back to the app. So the app is locked down, and we can't. We can work within the application, but we can't get out of the kiosk mode. All right, so hopefully that was a brief demo of the features of the Springmatic platform, and hopefully that's all clear. Thank you very much.